Hey, this is episode number 28 in the big picture, where we help you see
Think
and act big. Hey, Dave, how are you?
I'm doing great, and we have a very wonderful guest.
Yeah, we're very
Today.
excited for this
And
guest.
we're in here in her office, right?
This is the beautiful office, very creative feel to it. Yeah.
So we're in Avenir, and our guest today has been in the IT industry. Wow, since 1998, and that's
You can
fun.
now guess her age.
It's a guessing game. So she's been in an offshore company, particularly, and after 19 years, she met this new company who invents, produces toy products that ties up with an app and uses website. So she's been doing with a game. Is that game developing, right? So ever since that, but after 19 years, she's now started with this company. It's called
Fizz Buzz.
and this is you will learn the story of how she was able to partner with someone from outside the country, and now doing her thing as a project or the manager of this company. So please help me welcome here Joe, our guest. King
Mascarenas. Okay.
All right.
Not Montecillo. Hi, King. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us here on our first anniversary, actually.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And, guys, we invited ourselves, but we were here. And the reason for that, we want to share you something really, really important. I know some of you guys who have been following us in the podcast, following us in our Facebook page, in everywhere where we post this video and the podcast that you're hearing, because some of you are already you want to go to a business, and you're still employed, right? And I know, like, a lot of times Dave and I would talk about getting out of employment and doing your own thing,
Doing side hustles, yeah.
or doing side hustle. The thing is, I think where this episode would fit in is where if you're working on a company and you've lost your
fire.
passion, then the fire. And King here, when we were talking off camera, I feel like she's so excited about what she's doing, and we'd like to translate those excitement to you. And so this is where we started. King, can you give us a quick origin story prior to this,
Okay.
for this company? All right.
Okay. I've been in the IT industry, as what Dave mentioned, for 19 years, but I used to do online games offshore for about 5 years plus 5 to 10 years, and then after that, I did game development for about 9 years. So after which, I tried doing freelance at the same time. I still have time during that time, and
So you have a side hustle. You have a side thing. Okay.
That's something that sometimes you have to do. Although you already love what you do during the daytime, you also want to do something else at some point. So after which, someone approached me, and I met here in the Philippines that they wanted to come up with a game development company at the same time with a tangible toy, or a toy that's tangible. So it all started from there. And I'm not really sure why they're. Well, at first, I wasn't really confident that they're very serious about it, because I myself, if I want to work on someone, or I want to set up something like a business, a company, I wanted to make sure that it's not just a company, it has a heart and soul, it is very creative, it's passionate. Can you always wake up in the morning and I'll go to work today. Yeah, I know. So yeah, it all started from there, and we've set up the company, and I started learning their products, and we traveled in Hong Kong and see the possibility of really working with this team. And eventually, we set up the company here, and the US team also came over, and the China team, although didn't came, but we had a chance to meet earlier this year everybody from the different locations, and yeah, it all started from there. And I started tapping people that I've worked with in the past, and um, it's challenging at the same time. It's good because you get to work with new team at the same time that you can always see someone when you start talking to someone. You can also always see that there's passion, there's fire in them, and at the same time, the very first thing that I always ask, or a couple of questions that I ask them is, at the end of the day, what is their goal? Why do you work? Aside from money, of course, you have to income. But if they answer me like they want to learn more, so I think that's the key. Once you want to learn more, you never stop. You'll never die. Ano ba? You'll never
growing
die.
or-
You always grow, and you always accept criticism at some point. You will learn from these people. And even if I've been in different companies and been different projects, I always learn new things, especially I call it the millennials. Wala namang guguan ng
Well, Dave and I are still there.
But yeah, so can you like briefly describe the setup now of the company? Like, what do you do exactly? And yeah, so how does it work? Like the offshore people, and you mentioned China and American team.
So what usually starts is the Hong Kong and China team comes up with an invention of a toy. At some point, where the Philippine team is, we haven't started inventing toys for the consumer yet. But after that, once they've already pinned down what kind of toy, they handed it over to us for number one. We could do the website for them, the digital materials, the apps, 3D animation, and the most one of the product or the services that we offer is the stop motion animation, which is it's the only studio here in Cebu so far.
Yeah, I saw it and I'm so impressed. It's the first time that I've been into this. Yeah, you can see it
Yeah,
later.
you can see the video later. So the stop motion animation is luckily that the Cebu has a lot of talents. In fact, these animators that we have are also instructors in different universities here in Cebu, and they've studied abroad as
Like
well.
film,
So
film.
film, yes, film as well, and they're really passionate because aside from animation, they can actually draw. Kanang, they're very creative. Kanang, that's something that it's really passion that's driving a person to do that. Diba?
Okay, I have a question here because you probably in your role you probably interviewed a lot of people already.
Yes.
You probably work with a lot of no, not just because of but because of your role, right? There's a lot of people who would hand you the resume. You look at them in the eye, you try to figure out, is this a good fit for my company or not, right? And we're talking about passion here. So my question is, right now, a lot of your people, right? A lot of the guys that works for your company are passionate because they're actually doing something that's art.
Yes.
Does it follow that if you're doing something monotonous, right? Something that takes
Mundane,
yeah, mundane, right? Can you maintain that passion, or like do you see that as like, oh, it's something that really goes away if you keep on doing it?
Well, sometimes you have to find balance. I think that's the key. At some point, probably for some, passion will go away because they're probably drained, burnt out.
Even if they're working on like artsy
Even if they
projects.
really love their projects, at some point they lost focus, and it's normal. I think it's normal. I've seen a lot of people. I've worked with a lot of people, and the bottom line is they forget. They have this goal, but then at some point they get lost. That's why it's very important that when you work with people, you know what they want, what their goals are, and what they're passionate about. And then at some point you tweak. Because sometimes if you do everything every single day and then there's no variation, Like there's no trainings, no personal enhancements, something that they don't know yet that they're capable of. So yeah,
They
there
have
are
potential,
things.
right?
Oh, they have potential. So that's very important as well. Even if they're very passionate, and then I'd see that they want to learn more, then we inject those. Okay, we'll have these activities, and see if they like it or not. So
So it seems to me that like if I were to think about how to be passionate, you cannot detach like growth, the desire to grow out of it. Is that correct?
correct, correct.
In your case, I've when I look at in our conversation, look at your career, you've quickly progressed. You've always pushed the boundaries in your work. What? Yeah.
From the bottom to
Right,
the
yeah.
top.
From someone you said you started from a rank and file position, and now you're the head of the company, and now you come to a point where you actually deal with the owners, the investors who want to set up something.
Not everyone can do that, right?
Not everybody can do that. Like
But there is a secret behind that.
right,
Why
and yeah. So what keeps like how do you get to that point?
Well, I think what triggered me was
Yeah, it's time to look back.
it was
That 19 years.
where somewhere in that timeline. I worked in a company back then wherein I tried to work closely with the boss and the team around me. But then at some point, if kanaganing ginasulti nila nga kung wala ang amo, wala ang kuan.
when the cat is away, the
yes.
mouse will play.
So I tried to join that, but at some point, I felt empty, and so that triggered me that I need to learn instead of just.
So you tried to play when the cat is
Mouse
away,
yes.
but you feel empty.
Yes.
Can you explain?
Because
that's-
I'm into game development, so we play when the boss is not around. Okay, we play Quake. Quake was not
I see.
there.
So you're like-
I'm
you
even
can
the
out-tab
server.
your way here.
Okay, guys, we'll start now. And
Interesting.
then after that, and I said, instead of it's not wasting time. You get to learn to work with other
Yeah,
people
yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time.
It's a good not just pastime. It's like a bonding time with the rest of the
Correct.
guys. Yeah.
But then at the bottom, at the end of the day, I thought that there must be a purpose. I know that I'm passionate about what I do, but then why end here? I mean,
Right.
I can even teach other people how to get to where I am.
Well, yeah. Okay.
It's like giving back, being passionate at what I do, and then at the same time helping other people.
Yeah. So let's pause a moment. I want to jump into that idea, but before this, I just noticed that your headband looks like a cat. So you're the cat now.
You
Yes.
transform for the mouse to cat.
All right. So yeah, let's talk about that. So you're is it like are you more passionate like if you have the chance to kind of teach the younger ones to get to where you are? Does it steer you up? the
Actually, that's where I'm happy about every time that I get
That's
to
part of
work
your
with-
passion.
Yes, I get to work with them, and then if I see that they're slacking, I talk to them. I'm not talking to you as a person, but I'm talking to you once you reach 5 years from now. What do you want to achieve?
Right.
So I've been in your shoes at some point. So I want you to see what I've experienced in the past. So it's one way of helping. other
Is this
people.
something like naturally comes to you, or is there a handbook somewhere that you come to a
Yeah, where you
position?
learn it.
Yeah, where did you learn that?
Well, from I guess family. I've learned it from my sisters. I guess they started from rank and file, and up until my sister is already in that position already. And she's my idol. Our eldest. She's also a programmer. She's based in Davao. So because of that, I've learned passion and making sure that when you give your best, and I think everything will follow.
Awesome.
So, King, so I like the story from the rank I just turned it on. The rank and file from that, and you're
And then keeping passionate,
yeah.
keeping yourself passionate all throughout. Right?
But yeah, so it's been a long path as well. Like 19 years is not a joke, right? No one could like consistently be at that.
Right.
So, but you know, I know you've learned a lot of skills along the
Yes.
way. So, what does it make like? How can you become that person who people will partner? Especially clients from outside, like you know,
Right.
they don't just partner with anyone here
Right.
in the Philippines and let's start a company. What what do you think are the skills or the things that are necessary for you to become that person who people trust with their business?
Okay, I think when we started with this company, first things first that the bosses asked me was number one is when we deliver things, how would we see it, ba? Like, because from the software development, it's very important that quality is number one. And I think one of the things that I mentioned was try us. I'll do something first, then it speaks for me, myself, and for the rest of the team that I'll be tapping. And he agreed. So we did deliver something that, oh, they were able to do it just like that. And I said, but at some point, if it's not very, if you'll be giving us so much and we don't have enough time, I'll be very honest to you and, constant communication with the team. So I guess one thing that is important is we were able to give them quality work that they're looking for. Number two is the knowledge. If they if they start ask questions, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? And I'd say we can do all of these, but I mean, be honest, but
Right.
we have to have a timeline. We have to do this and stuff. It's
you
not
really know what you're doing.
exactly. And if they say, "Oh, the guys were able to do this," and I started asking questions that are too technical for them, probably, and then they start connect me with those people, and he ends up saying, and the boss ends up saying, "Okay, we found the right person to do this for us." So I think
But you're yeah. So I get it. You're talking about your eye for quality and your eye for like being honest and what you can do. So basically integrity, but more than that, I think you have an eye of understanding what you're capable of, right?
Yes.
Really, like how the business works.
How the business work. But my question goes beyond like the actual meeting. How do you get known? How did you get your reputation
Partners,
out
yeah.
there, right?
well,
What did you do?
I think I didn't do it. Luck.
Well, yeah, luck, grace is there, but then you must have done something different along the way.
Well, probably I've talked to a lot of people, and if they ask questions, I'm not selfish in sharing those information. I think that started
I like that.
because if someone will ask you, how do you do this? Okay, I'll teach you how to do that, but here's what you have to do. So you teach other people at the same time.
Okay.
Dili ingon nga, you will only keep it to yourself.
Okay.
Because every time the IT or the technology, it evolves.
Right.
But once you learn it by heart, katong the foundation,
Yeah.
you'll never go wrong.
Yeah.
You'll never go wrong. I mean, I've been telling those guys. Some of the guys here started OJT, working with us as an OJT back in my previous company until we hired him, and then until you want to work with me, and he said yes. So I think that's one of the things.
That's one thing that's unique also for you because you're able to find team right away.
Yeah, I've been here for 19, so
Yeah, but then like if you probably suck as an office mate. No, even if you call them, right, they probably will not answer you, or they probably I probably don't want to work with this person.
Right.
So like how do you relate to your team? Do you always think about like I don't know if you like how do you maintain the relationship, because I think a lot of the people that you work here now, a lot of them are being referred to you or like
Yes.
personally.
Yes, Jonah and Nina.
Yeah.
Well, because when I started working rank and file, I always see I started rank and file until such time I led a team of five for the marketing team. So I always see myself in their shoes. If they'd say it can't be done, and I'd say why, and they'd have to explain it to me so I'll understand. Even if it's difficult, I always tell them, let's work together. It's not going to be, oh, I'll hand it over to you. You work on it.
Abandon them in the middle
Yes,
of it, right?
correct.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that's why at some point, if something goes wrong, it's not, oh, it's your fault. It's
Right.
who's, so it's more of who's managing the whole team. It's me.
Yeah.
So it's I'm
you're taking
accountable.
Take responsibility.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm accountable to whatever this team delivers. So that is one of the things that I always teach them, and I always share it to them, because at the end of the day, there's no point of blaming.
Right. Interesting. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
Or complaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stop complaining and be creative. That's one of the.
So, yeah, you have any-
No.
actually, what's like? So you are here. It's a partnership basically, and you is. I just have a question. I don't know if we could include this, but the thing is,
We'll include it.
yeah. So this is a company that you like. Is that like it's a business for your case, or is it like they're just paying you the salary? I just want to ask that.
It's actually, when I said subsidiary, so they support us. So whatever request digital support that they need, we give it to them.
So you're
So we're
based
not,
out-
yeah, we're not looking for clients at this point yet. Because I told them, if we will be looking for clients, I wanted to make sure that we know what we're into. Because it's a toy industry, it's different from
Yeah.
the one that I've been doing in the past. It's okay to be paranoid. So that's why I said no. I wanted to make sure that whatever you request from us, it's already good quality, and it's we can compete to other companies or toy companies at some point.
Okay, so you
So
just
right
charge
now,
them by
yeah,
project, basically.
we charged. Actually, it's more of they provide us with resources, and we do
We do the
dirty
actual
things,
work or
yes.
something. Yeah, so that's a nice business model as well. So
It's like being outsourced.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
outsource in a specific.
Yeah, for specific. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So do you have anything to add? Like,
Well, yeah. When you're one of the things that I notice, if you stop complaining, or you always think of negative thoughts, nothing will happen. So let's, in every opportunity or even difficulties, try to find it as a kind of opportunity for you to grow and be creative in solving those problems or trials.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
that's a wrap. No?
Yeah, we usually end the episode with like couple of learnings or two learning from each of us. So Dave, would you like to start?
Yeah. So I think the teaching heart, like it's very important because it adds credibility, and also I've learned somewhere that you learn through experience, whatever, to books, but you actually like learn very fast and very like truly truly learn when you teach. So I think she has
Multiplies your
that
learning.
naturally.
Right.
She didn't mention it explicitly, but basically, if you are there to help teach and to really help someone, I think the blessings will just come in naturally, yeah. And you'll also learn so much.
Okay. For me, a couple of things building onto what you said. One is passion. Passion always involves growth. You're not passionate because you're not moving. Motion creates emotion. And so, secondly is you multiply. The fastest way you can multiply your passion is by teaching it to other people. Like if you're so passionate about something like what you're doing, what I will see there is that you're able to transfer that passion to other people. And it's very, very important if you're handling people. And then lastly, I like the fact that you said, by the end of the day, I'm the leader here. And I'm the one responsible for what's going to happen. There's no blaming. It's just me. And I really like that. I've read the book, Total Ownership by Joko Willink. He's an ex-SEAL. And he talked about this. He actually belabored this in this book. And I thought to myself, I've led a lot of people also in the past. I thought to myself, how and to what level I own that ownership in the company. And I like it when you said that. And I said, like, if I were to pick one value that each one of us have as leaders is a total ownership.
Right.
And now we're in our lightning round. Okay, so King, are you ready? This is like we compiled what we think is the best 5 questions in the whole world. Yeah, just kidding.
whole
So first is the first question number 1 is, can you describe to us your typical day?
Typical day. Meetings, meetings, and then emails, and then meetings.
All right.
No.
And your day starts at what?
It varies. I sometimes start at 7:30 a.m. or 9 or 10, even at 12, depending on meetings.
Awesome. Okay.
So the next question is, who or what inspires you?
Well, my family. That's it.
So
They're-
This is not included, but we have a good response with this question, not included in our 5. And this question is, if you can recommend 1 to 2 books that you think people should read, what is it?
Uh, profit over people or people over profit. I'm currently
It's
reading
people. I think people over profit.
people over profit. It's good. It's not the science or anything. It's been there, but I really love it. That's where I got stop complaining and be creative.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool.
right. So the next question, like, do you consider yourself successful? Yeah.
Well, right now it's very difficult to say success. I mean say successful, but then I'm successful in a way that I have my family with me. I have friends. I have the people that I can run to.
Right.
I have people that I can talk to every day, even if I'm already, managing the team. And I have a husband to go to.
Awesome. That's the ultimate success, guys. Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad you mentioned it because there must have been when you got about. You never mentioned it.
Okay. Next question is this. A lot of the people that that calls us or sends us a message online are people who are working abroad, right? And some of them, they're there and they want to go home, primarily because they have a family that's living here. And then some of them are people who are they might be here, but they're in a grind. Basically, they're in a mundane thing that they feel like they're stuck. How can you help them?
Your advice for them.
What would be your advice to them?
Well, number 1 is if it's mundane, if it's something that you want to come back here in the Philippines, try to because everyone is doing the same thing already, and you don't at some point you don't have to be original. You don't have to be something new. You just have to find the passion and then something that you're good at. Passion and you're good at, and be creative at what you do. So once you have that, everything follows. If at some point it's mundane, then try to rediscover yourself.
Yeah.
Because we all go through that. Yeah, we
It's
all
normal.
Go. Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right. So the last question, actually.
It's the most difficult question in the world.
Oh my
Yeah, you
God,
can
I'm
ask it.
scared.
Where can people find you?
Oh,
Kulbaan siya.
here in Avenir Fizzbuzz.
Do you have like social
This
media?
one is your handle?
No, I'm just kidding.
Website.
Well, we are we're here in
Your home
Avenir,
address.
but
People can stalk you.
fizzbuzz.ph. It's live. You can check out our site, and then fizzbuzz.ph Facebook. We also have that, and all the rest. It's all in the website fizzbuzz.ph.
Right.
So this is episode 28, and we've mentioned a couple of books. Also, the links to her website. We will share it at our thebigpicture.ph/episode 28
28. Yeah.
to find those show notes. So you'll find the pictures of the last pictures of her
Yeah.
because we're actually putting out quotes on our like quotable quotes from the
stop
show.
complaining, be
Yeah,
creative.
be
I love
creative. Yes.
that.
So
All right.
we will have those. Please share those if you see something you like. So please share it to your friends. And
Right.
yeah, you want to add something?
No, I just want to say, King, thank you so much. It's a pleasure, interviewing you. We really enjoyed it. We want to, as passionate as you in everything we do. Right?
Yeah, I'm actually inspired seeing this office. I want to
yeah.
start my own. I want to have an office in Avenir.
So we'll probably take some photos of the office because
Yeah.
it's very creative. I like the field of it, and I don't know if we can take a shot at the recording studio.
Yeah,
It's
sure,
okay.
sure.
Maybe it's a secret, right? If they're filming something, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, we'll post it all.
We'll post it.
in our
It's really
show
cool.
notes.
Okay.
All right, so
Thank
that's
you.
it. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
this is Dave and
This is Joe
We're
signing off.
Signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.